Hi, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Welcome back. Are you rich in the Philippines? You might be surprised. We've got some very interesting government data that just came out, and we've done some research as well in anticipation of this. So let's just talk about it.
I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay, the 2022 occupational wage survey from the Philippines is out, and it covers multiple areas. But before we go into that, there's a few things we should say. The first one, as always, please do consider subscribing, and please do hit that thumbs up. It really helps a lot. Now, number two, how you get these numbers, how the Philippine government gets these numbers, is a little bit not shady, but it's mysterious. And the reason behind that isn't because they're doing something wrong. It's just simply because of the mechanics behind it. We had to actually look at 3 different academic papers to come up with a conclusion as to how applicable these numbers are. Keep in mind this. In America, for instance, and I can't speak to Australia and I can't speak to Britain or anywhere else, okay? But in America, 70% of all Americans are under one of a half a dozen major payroll processing systems. Okay? You've got systems like Paychecks. You've got systems like ADP. You've got the federal government, which has its own payroll processing department. You have state governments, which have their own payroll processing departments. You've even got large corporations like Amazon and Google and Apple that have their own payroll processing systems. So these people have to report specific things. They must do this, and the companies get in considerable trouble if they don't report it, and they have to report this stuff literally on a quarterly basis. Now, some people report it on a monthly basis, and this is so that the government can track farm, not farm, industry, sales, whatever, all these different departments. I know that in our companies, we used Paychecks and ADP, okay? Because both of them have advantages and disadvantages, and difference in costs as well. That being said, that is not how the Philippine works. And one of the biggest factors you've got to keep in mind is how large the Philippine population is on a cash basis. Earning money by cash, being paid in cash. How does this all get recorded? And does it even get it to the Philippine Statistical Authority? And does it fall into the correct category? So let's take a look at what the Philippine government just put out. So let's compare what you bring home in retirement to what these wages are. Airline pilot, average monthly wage in Philippine pesos, 135,363. Now remember, these are statistical numbers, and you throw enough numbers into a statistical formula, you can come up with anything you want. Now, whether it would behoove the government to report more or less, I don't know. And you can rest assured, if that's the average, then somebody's making less and somebody's making more. How they work it out, I don't know. At 55 pesos to the US dollar, which is what I just used as an average. In fact, this morning, it's as of a couple hours ago, it's 57 pesos 25 centavos, something like that. 55.27, I think, is what it was last I looked. That's equal to $2,461 a month. Okay? For some people, that's their Social Security. Now, I know there's a lot of people saying, because I think that the national average last I looked at Social Security was like $1,800. But still, $2,400 a month. That's not that much. Now, if we look at the next one, this is kind of what got to me. General medical doctors. These are what we call GPs or family docs. Okay? A family doc, 51,251 pesos a month. That's $931. That's less than $1,000 a month. Again, somebody had to be making more, somebody had to be making less. And I can tell you this much right now. That's a general practitioner. I think that number is low. I don't know how they get it, but I am going to bring you in just a little bit to the actual website and show you exactly how they computed it and what they say worked and didn't work. I don't know. All right. Specialists. These are going to be guys like cardiologists, cardiothoracic surgeon, orthopedist, people like this. Okay. 54,476 pesos a month. That's a little over $1,000 a month. So if your Social Security or your retirement from wherever you are exceeds that, you're above average of some of the most elite types of jobs, careers. So all of a sudden, are you rich? Well, you just might be. But we don't know the actual nitty gritty. We don't know the sample size. But I thought it would be interesting to show you what the Philippines says. This is what they say. You have to take faith in it. And it gives you other types. You know, the median for top industries is like 30,000 a month. Okay? The average across the entire population is supposedly 19,676. But I think when I read the website, that's unskilled labor. So there's all kinds of different things in here. There are median monthly basic pay. There's median monthly allowances. These things are all in there, and we're going to go through, and I'm going to take you to that website right now. So this is the actual Philippine Statistics Authority website. I'm going to put the link below. You can go through this at your leisure, but the bottom line is simple. This data was released on the 22nd, exactly 5 days ago, and it goes into every single piece of information to whatever extent they give you. All right? Monthly wages, how they defined it, the definitions, and all of the parts and pieces. So I suggest that you take a look at this. All right? I suggest that you consider it. What I also suggest is don't get tied up in the minutia. What you should get tied up in is two things. This is what the government is reporting. and you know how much you make. That being said, how you choose to live shows you that it can be done at a lesser rate. It also shows you with these wages that people do it all the time. So can you retire here on a specific amount of money? It's up to you to decide that. Don't listen to other YouTubers. Figure it out yourself with respect to, this is what I'm going to be looking at paying for rent. This is what I'm going to be looking for. We always encourage you to watch other YouTubers and gather information from them. Don't always take their advice, but gather information, then research it yourself. We're going to post the link below, like I said. And then you've got to figure out how this really might apply, because I can tell you, I know there are faults in this. I know my doctor makes a whole lot more than what they post. I know that even in the U.S., there are different methodologies. You can have practices, and you can have academics, and you can have academic practices. And all three of those can be different payrolls. All right? There's just so much to it. But when it starts to talk about the general population, when you get away from these high-end pieces, okay, then you start to look at the general population and you see where they're at. I know that this is a little dry. We apologize, but a lot of people like it. A lot of people want to know, and a lot of people like to do their own research with this as a starting point. So that's what we encourage. We really appreciate you being here. Please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and have a great day. Oh, don't spend your millions all at once. Thanks.